Welcome to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. I am joined today by Jordan Main. He is president of Maine Financial Group, as well as Adam Freund. He is CRC at Maine Financial Group. And to our viewers at home, you're probably in the audience today and you're asking yourself, why would I retire in today's market, in today's economy, with everything being so up and down, topsy-turvy? Well, the answer may surprise you. We're going to talk about why you would want to think about retiring in today's economy. Jordan, how are you today?
I am great. How are you, Cynthia?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. And Adam, how are you?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. I'm always excited to be in the studio with both of you. It's amazing information that you're giving our viewers in Michigan. They love it. They can't wait to see what you're going to see from what you're going to say from one week to the next. They can't wait to see.
Especially him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I have done a little bit of studying about the state of Michigan. Are you ready for what I found out?
Yes.
I can't wait.
I had to write it down. Something I found out about the state of Michigan is that it's #1 in public golf courses, and it's #2 in voter registration. Most people don't know that. I didn't know that.
Well, wait a minute. You're leaving out a major thing.
Which is?
I am wearing the colors of the best football team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions.
Very nice.
So that is another thing we're known for in the state of Michigan.
Very nice.
That's as of recently.
Yeah, right.
Recent history. Yeah, most people don't, even if the people who live in Michigan don't realize how many voters we have in the state. It's because we actually have more lakes than Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota. And golf courses, public golf courses, we are, what is it, second, first?
Yeah, actually, you are #1 in public golf courses, #2 in voter registration.
Yeah, and because of where we're situated, closer to the time change between Eastern and Central, in the summer, you can literally play golf until 10 o'clock at night in the upper part of the lower peninsula.
Yeah.
Does the Shermanator play golf that late?
No, we put the Shermanator to bed by 10.
I was going to say that would be my plan too, but okay, I just had to ask. Well, it's interesting when we think about it. A lot of people in today's economy, if you will, they're concerned, like, should I retire? Is it okay for me to retire? Every time I turn on the news, there's something else that's going on. How do I know what to believe? Well, today's show, we're going to uncover some things, and actually, I think it'll bring peace of mind to people that are thinking about retiring. The first one, with all the uncertainty in the world, what makes now a good time to retire, and how can retirees feel confident about their decision? Jordan?
Yeah, I think if you just take a step back and look at the overall picture, the stock market has never been higher. 401k balances, retirement account balances are through the roof. The real estate market, Cynthia, you know about those areas, have never been higher than, or in the general area. The savings for Americans are up. We are wealthier as a people than we've ever been. So the idea is, how can we capture those profits, lock in those gains, and have the peace of mind in retirement? Now's the time to consider doing that with all the growth we've had in all the different sectors.
Yeah, and it's also based upon, there's never a great time to retire, and there's never a bad time to retire. It's all personal. When do you want to retire? What situation is, what's your situation? Do you want to retire early? How can we make that work? Do you want to retire or keep working? My father's 85 years old. He still goes to work every day. He's not retired. And the reason is he loves what he's doing. And if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
True.
So what do they call that? They, instead of retirement, it's like semi-retired.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. New category.
A new category. So, people that want to maybe work part-time, there's some caution to that, because if you're taking Social Security, we have to kind of measure how much you're making, or you're going to get in trouble with Social Security until you reach full retirement age.
Well, I think the moral is, do your planning so you don't have to work part-time, but decide to work part-time for fun. And ultimately, that's what we want to see is like the Shermanator, who we refer to, Adam's father, who's 85 and still a real estate tycoon. He does it because he loves it. He doesn't do it because he has to.
Right.
I love that. I love that. The next question is, how can today's retirees take advantage of current market conditions to strengthen their retirement plans? Taking advantage of current market conditions.
So that's basically locking in your gains at this point, right?
What do they say? Is it buy high, sell low?
No. Sell high, buy low.
Oh, I see. There we go. And we just talked about the market being at all-time high. This is a great time to lock in some profits.
Yeah, and the problem is, the issue is with the general public out there is they always think it's going to get higher. It's going to be higher. I can't bow out now. Well, you tell me when the peak is, and then I can really put together a great plan. But that's the truth is we don't know if the market is going to go down next week. Did we bring the crystal ball? I don't have a crystal ball. Do you have a crystal
We must have
ball?
left it.
We must have left it. It's in the shop.
Amazon.
Amazon, that's right. But that's the truth is that you gotta, if you've made a lot of money, let's say in your 401k, and you are over 59 and a half, you have the ability right now to move that money out and into something that, well, we would call safer, or something that has a lot
into your
less
own
risk.
IRA, so it's not taxable if you're still working. It's called an in-service rollover. These are little things that you can do to begin to plan for that. But I think we talked in another show about if you just look at the last 20 plus years in the stock market and how many bear markets have we had. So bear markets would be down, well, a correction is down 10%, a bear market's over 20%. We had a short one around COVID. We did have a little one in 2022, right?
Yeah.
But then before that, it was all the way back to the end of 809 range. And before that, it was all the way back to the 9/11 type thing. So if you look at a multiple over 20-year period, the stock market has grown so much. So the idea is, how can we preserve and protect some of those gains to help our retirement?
Yeah, and
absolutely.
we're not saying to pull everything out of the market right now either, because we also know, we don't really know, but we believe that 10 years from now, the market's going to be worth more than it is today. And how do we know that? Because it's worth more today than it was 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, it was worth more than it was 10 years prior.
So on and so
on. So, but strike while the iron is hot, as they say.
I love that. Well, one of the other things that people are wondering right now would be, how are some strategies put into place for creating stable income in retirement, even in times of economic uncertainty? It's a big one.
I don't know.
Strategic.
Yeah, there are all kinds of vehicles that are out there that you need to look for guarantees in the fixed income world, right? So a lot of people look at this laddered CDs. Or what is a CD? It's a contract with you and the bank, and it has some FDIC backing. There are bonds out there. We've talked about that in past shows. We can buy a bond from General Motors or Ford Motor. I guess I'm wearing Ford colors here. Fords, yeah.
Yes.
And we also have all kinds of great annuity type vehicles that are contracts that are guaranteed. So really to go find things that have that downside protection, but also a contractual guarantee for certain benefits.
Yeah, and we can't do a shotgun approach to this, right? You can't just say, well, I'm going to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I'm going to have one over here and one over there. And what do we call that? The junk drawer of investing.
I forgot. That's a great point. So when a lot of people come to us and they have accounts all over, maybe a few different financial advisors, maybe an account at E-Trade, maybe an old 401k, and what they've really created is a financial junk drawer. The accounts aren't working together and coordinated to a common goal, and so it's very inefficient that way. So we spend a lot of time making sure that every account you have has its own mission. This account is providing income. This account is providing growth. This account is looking at some tax diversification. So they all need to be kind of working towards the same mission.
And we know everybody out there has a junk drawer. You have a junk drawer.
I sure do.
You have a junk drawer?
I do.
I do too.
Not a financial junk drawer.
Not a financial drawer, no.
Well, Jordan, we should give people the opportunity to have one of the main money reports customized just for them. Do you want to talk about what that is while Adam holds it up so beautifully?
Yeah, absolutely. So we call it the main money report, but essentially it is your own personal written financial plan. A lot of you may not have a financial plan out there right now and say, well, what is it? Well, it's a roadmap for your retirement, and there's 5 key points to it, or parts to it. The first one is an income plan. Where are all your income sources coming from, and how much will that be? An income plan, not an income guess. Right? We also need to look at an investment strategy. What are the different sectors you're investing in? What is your risk? What is your fixed income type of stuff, the things? The next one is taxation. How do we get that pesky Uncle Sam off our back in retirement? The next section would be healthcare. A lot of options in Medicare. Long-term care is a very big concern. And the last section would be the estate plan. What you want to have happen when you're no longer here. So it takes 2 meetings out of your life. The first meeting, come together and meet with this knucklehead and talk about what you like and don't like about your current financial situation. Him and I will then go to work and put together an analysis. And the second time you come back, we'll review the findings. It's completely complimentary, a very detailed financial plan. Now, we're not going to go over all 200 pages with you, but it's yours to take. And even for those of you that have a financial plan with another advisor, it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion.
That's correct.
Jordan, thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much to the viewers at home. That number to call is 888-462-7839. Remember, this is a 2-part process to have the Maine Money Report designed just for you. It's customized. It takes time to put together, and it's completely complimentary. There's no obligation whatsoever. All you have to do is call in to 888-462-7839. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on the Maine Money Show, but we're talking all about the argument for retiring in today's economy. Can you do it? Yes, we think you can. We'll be right back momentarily.
It starts with a very detailed conversation. We want to listen more than talk.
We want to know what their goals are, not just financially, but personally, what that goal is for their family, for what they see their retirement as being.
Every case that comes through our office, the 3 of us set eyes on it together. I find that to be very unique, and I think it's very beneficial for the client. Jordan obviously has his background as a CPA.
Jordan, for instance, is the big picture kind of guy, right? The tax issues become very, very important in retirement. Brandon, man, I call him the guru. He is the guru of anything to do with the money that needs to be protected, life insurance. And I kind of think of myself as someone that kind of goes in between. I'm more of a client advocate.
Adam is a wonderful piece of the puzzle. His decades of experience are very valuable.
I make sure that we're staying on target for those clients' goals, wants, needs.
It's very synergistic, it's very complete, it's very comprehensive.
So the pieces of the plan that come together is essentially the Maine Money Report. It comes with something that's so highly customized that not one report is the same for somebody else.
When we finish that discussion, we know with 100% certainty we have the best plan for our client in place. We only recommend products that are A-rated or higher, and we will go through very specifically all the fine points of these products to make sure they'll achieve those goals.
We take the idea of being a fiduciary extremely serious. We're going to put the work in to ensure that your plan is specific to your goals, wants, and needs.
When the 3 of us get together, when we work together, we are so much stronger, the 3 of us together, than independent.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Jordan Main and Adam Freund of the Maine Financial Group, and we're talking all about retiring in today's economy. Can you do it? Absolutely. With the Maine Money Report by your side, it's a no-brainer. The next question I want to jump into is, how can working with a financial advisor help new retirees navigate today's market and protect their nest egg? People are so concerned about protecting what they've worked for.
Yeah, I think that actually kind of links back to the previous segment, right? Because people always think that there's better stuff going to come around the corner. And it really is important, whether it's with us or somebody else in the Metro Detroit area, a fiduciary advisor, somebody that has your best interest at heart, looks at what it is that you're doing and comes up with a plan. And we read a statistic that the baby boomers right now are the ones that are least prepared. They don't have plans. And I don't know why that is. It may be something to do with the way they were very independent compared to the silent generation or the greatest generation, that they were kind of left on their own. And maybe they are more of a do-it-yourselfer.
Could be.
But they need a lot of help. They need the ability to come in and to meet with an advisor that has their best interest at heart, creates a plan for them. And we also know life comes at you, right?
Yes.
In many ways. And I think that, but the question is the value of working with a professional advisor. I think it's important that you find a fiduciary investment advisor, which both Adam and myself are,
Yep.
and to work with a group that wants to help educate you, not just tell you what to do. And we both, my parents were teachers. His father, we used to be a teacher.
Yep.
And so we like to teach what we're doing. But I think the real value of professional advice comes in volatile markets, right? Times of volatility.
Yes.
And let's admit, we've had collectively here, it's been a great run in the market for many, many years with a few little blips here and there. But we all remember back to the 08-09 scare and even the 2000, 2001, and 2002.
Yes.
And that is when the value of professional advice really comes in, of having a plan that can absorb some of these life curveballs that we get thrown. And it will significantly change the direction of the retirement.
You know, there's something, this kind of just, it may be a little bit off subject, but I think both of us got into this business really for two reasons. And there's two things that we do every day in our practice that ends up being very special to us.
Okay.
It's the day that we can actually tell somebody they can retire. That is one of the best days that you can have. And especially when we can tell them they can retire early. There's nothing better than that. I can tell you.
I've got to use that example that we had this past summer. So dear friends of mine that asked me to take a look at their portfolio. I was not their investment advisor, and they had a plan to retire in 4 or 5 years, I think. And they were in their mid to late 60s. And we ran a plan. Adam and I sat down, we put things together, and we said, guys, you can retire inside of 6 months. They couldn't believe it. They said, we need to rerun these numbers. Are you sure? And we reran them. And so they ultimately retired, but then they had a joint retirement party. And they invited us. And they had a microphone and music. It was a really nice event.
Yeah.
And at the end, they had their 2 kids come up, and they were kind of thanking everyone, grandma and all their coworkers. And then they turned to us, our group, and said, we are only here right now because of the strategies of Maine Financial. I don't want to choke you up but it did at that time to say what we did impacted their life.
Yes.
And there's a big difference of 5 extra years in retirement and 5 of the good years.
Right.
Because as we talked about in the past, we've got different phases of retirement. The first phase is the honeymoon phase, the go-go phase.
Yes.
That's when you want to have all your fun. Then we have a slow go phase. Then we have a no-go phase.
Yes.
So to get 5 extra years in the go-go phase, it was it's why we do what we do.
That is your why.
That just gave me chills too. The other thing that it's also part of our business, and it does choke me up, is when we're one of the first calls that we get when someone passes away.
Absolutely.
But it is so gratifying. It is the reason we do this, because we know we're going to take care of those people. We know the children know that they trust us. They know that we're going to do what it is right for them and what we did right for their parents. So
and we tell them, you just focus on your family because you're all set. We've got the plan in place, and we've accounted for all these curveballs.
And that gives them peace of mind.
Yeah.
It most definitely does. Gentlemen, we're going to take our second commercial break. To our viewers at home, there's a number to call on your screen. That number is 888-462-7839. What I'd like to start by saying is this. As you can clearly see, there is a difference when you choose the financial advisor that you're working with. Don't you want to have someone that's going to take a look at all of your goals and dreams for retirement? Look at the case study that we just spoke about. Someone just had 5 extra years in the best time of retirement, the go-go years. Why? Because the Maine Money Report was crafted for them because they had peace of mind to know that they were going to be okay. It didn't matter what the television set said. They weren't worried about the economy. They knew they had peace of mind because of this report. Well, this is your chance to get one right now today. That number, it's a two-step process, two appointments, if you will. 888-462-7839. 888-462-7839. If you don't have a pen handy, you can grab your smartphone. Click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That takes you right to the main page for Maine Financial Group, and you can schedule your time accordingly. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by making this call today. Have your Maine Money Report designed just for you and what your needs are. We'll be right back momentarily. Don't go anywhere.
There's not really an age or an amount of net worth that we focus on. It's really anyone who has a desire to let us educate you on the best, safest ways to guarantee you don't outlive your money.
If we can make a difference in their lives, we'll take them on. We've got clients of all levels from you name it, high to low, but we will not take on a new client unless we can impact them.
So I would say throughout my career, a big moment of impact was the fact that there's a lot of people out there that are not really getting the right advice or correct advice. They're not educated in terms of what it is that we do. You know, you can give everybody an advice, but it's a good scare that will actually make them do something. And I think that that impact on what it is that they want, especially for retirement, is a real key factor.
In my eyes, a successful retirement is being able to do whatever you want it to do, and every one of us is different. It isn't a dollar amount or a number of zeros in your retirement because all of us are going to the same place at the end of the day. You know, and we all have a different definition of what retirement looks like. So if you can achieve your own goals, then that's a successful retirement, in my opinion.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Jordan Main and Adam Freund of Maine Financial Group, and we're talking all about how you can have peace of mind retiring in today's economy, no matter what you're seeing on the news, because you'll have the Maine Money Report by your side. Jordan, the next question I want to guide to you: what positive trends in the economy might benefit retirees over the coming years?
Yeah, how exciting the last few years have been with all of these new asset classes, right? I mean, how about this thing, cryptocurrency?
Right.
I was against it for years.
I was a skeptic.
I said, this is not a real asset. And now look at, it's here to stay in a lot of different areas globally. So we've got cryptocurrency. How about artificial intelligence?
Yes, AI.
Adam takes a ride. What is that called?
I did when I traveled out to Phoenix, I took a thing called a Waymo.
Waymo. There's no
not
driver.
a human being in the car except Adam.
That's right.
Remote control car.
Yep.
So we look at all these great things in technology and even in the healthcare field. So when you look at going into retirement and investing, you still want to have some of these exciting asset classes as part of your portfolio, all encompassing.
Yeah,
I
and
love that.
the advancement of not only of technology, but of medicine, as you were just speaking of, is actually, I asked my dad, is it my imagination or is 65 kind of young now? And my dad, 85, said, no, absolutely. 65 is not the same as your 65-year-old grandfather was. At 65, he retired. He moved down to Florida. He got the gold watch, that whole thing. Yeah. And he said, no, people are living longer. 75 is the new 65, and maybe 85 is the new 75.
Right, and think about the challenges that now when you're retiring even maybe a little earlier, but you're living longer to plan for a 40-year window potentially.
Yes.
I think it's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It really is very exciting. The next question is, how can retirees use fixed indexed annuities or other protected growth tools to ensure that they're not overly exposed with market risk?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Big one.
Well, here's the thing about fixed indexed annuities. They are not subject to market losses.
Okay.
They cannot go down. So
is that what that word fixed means?
I think so.
All right.
It's protected. It is protected from losing in the market. And that means, so basically think of it as an elevator. I think I've used this analogy before, but it's an elevator that you start on one floor and there's, let's say the index has a return. And there's how many indexes now?
Oh boy, 3,000?
3,000, who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot.
It'll be tied to an index. They take a picture of the index on day 1. They take a picture on day 365. And if let's say it's gone up 10%, you participate in that 10%, and now the elevator goes to the next floor. Now, the next year, let's say the market goes down. Does the elevator go down?
No, we're staying on that floor.
Nope, that's your new floor.
Okay.
And so forth and so on. So if somebody's worried about market volatility, they get to participate in market upswings, but do not participate at all in market losses.
Well, and I think I use the analogy of the advancements in automobiles, right? I still can't believe that I can set my cell phone on the armrest and it charges.
That is neat.
And when I'm driving, all my speedometer, everything is on the windshield.
Yeah.
Very
And that's
cool.
the same thing to this category that you asked about, fixed index annuities. It has been reborn and reborn and reborn again. A product that maybe came out 20 plus years ago that was really not that attractive has been recreated and recreated and recreated. Now it's probably the hottest sector of that window of the various annuities because of all the upside with that downside protection.
Wow.
And now is a perfect time to refinance something that might be 4 or 5 years old in a fixed indexed annuity.
Or any of annuities.
Or any of the annuities, that's
Yeah.
true. So it's very important, again, talk to your advisor or call us. We'd love for you to call us, and we will try to do a refinance. We'll see if it makes sense. We will not do it if it does not make dollars and cents.
Thank you, Adam. Well, Jordan, only a minute and a half left of today's show. What final words of wisdom would you like to give our viewers in Michigan today?
Yeah, I think, the topic of the show was what? Why, or at least consider retiring
now.
Yes.
now. And I think we
Yes.
went over a lot of reasons to consider it, but you can't retire without putting together a written roadmap, a written financial plan. What we're offering is for anyone to come in for 2 meetings out of their life to get their own customized financial plan. 5 key areas really quickly: an income section to make sure we've got enough income, an investment strategy section, make sure we're doing the right things with stocks and bonds. What's next? Taxation. Taxation to make sure that Uncle Sam's not going to take all of our money in retirement. Healthcare. We need to make sure that we've got Medicare plan for long-term care and your estate plan. Everything's going where you want it upon your demise.
There you go. I mean, I can't think of a reason not to have the Maine Money Report. Jordan, thank you so much. And Adam, as always, thank you for the way you beautifully display the Maine Money Report. To our viewers at home, we know that you want to have your own Maine Money Report crafted just for you. It's a 2-part process. Call in today to 1-888-462-7839 to start the journey to your retirement peace of mind. Once again, 888-462-7839. Thank you for spending time with us today on the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. See you next week.